Earl Spence?
Look, I feel like I'm up for it, man. I feel like I'm up for it. This guy was tough, you know, no excuses. But I think me and Earl Spence is going to be one hell of a fight, you know. It's a banger. You know how I am. I don't go take a backward step. So if he wants to meet me at the front, bring it on.
Well, we are live into the US as well. Do you have a message for Errol Spence and his team?
You know what they say, catch the big fish. Let's go fishing.
My goodness. Does Tszyu have the skills, have what it takes after watching him fight against Dennis Nurja last night? Does he have the skills to compete with big fish? Earl, the Truth, Spence Jr. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Tszyu, he looked good. I wouldn't say looked great, looked absolutely fantastic. He looked good against Dennis Nurja. Was doing some good work. But Dennis Nurja is not even close to what Earl Spence Jr. is. First of all, Earl Spence is a southpaw. Earl Spence is technically skilled, has a great skilled, precise jab. Dennis Nurja had no jab. I seen Tszyu utilize the pullback counter. Anytime Dennis Nurja was coming forward with a 1-2, threw a jab, threw a left hook, Tszyu was pulling back. But what I didn't see, and what I was tripping about the whole goddamn fight, was the head movement. Tszyu did not slip one punch. He didn't slip. He pulled back every time to get away from the punches. And rolled with punches. Used the right arm from the orthodox position to catch punches. But not once did Tszyu utilize side-to-side head movement, slipping. And I've seen many times this dude square up, coming forward in the orthodox position, but then, as he releases combinations, squaring up. And got caught straight squared. But Dennis Nurja did not have the skills, did not have the power to, you know, hit Tszyu and make Tszyu realize and think, oh my God, this is what I'm doing wrong. This is what I'm doing wrong. Earl the True Spence Jr., I'm telling you guys right now, he's going to knock Tszyu out. And he's going to knock him out from the southpaw position. A left hook or an overhand left hook. It's going to be like, boom! Tszyu, I've seen too many times in that fight, his chin be open for huge counter shots. I know sometimes when you're dominating a fight, let's just say, I'll put Lester Martinez in there. Sometimes when you're dominating these fights, you tend to put your hands down at times. Start to try to, you know, utilize that Philly shell. Tszyu wasn't keeping his hands at his head the whole time, at least not even right here. He was keeping his left hand down here, and his right arm was not right here. It was right here. He was coming forward like that. And sometimes he would throw some of these combinations not from right here, but from the hip. Boom, 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 boom. And I was thinking, dude, his chin on the left side, no, on his right side is ridiculously open. I could see the holes. I could see the counter shots from watching that fight with Tszyu and Dennis Nurja, and told myself, Earl the True Spence Jr. is going to see those openings, probably watch that fight, and that's why he dropped that tweet and said he's going to do him bad. He's going to come in here and mess up Tszyu. I'm telling you guys, man, although Tszyu got the win against Dennis Nurja, hurt him a couple different times, Tszyu, he didn't step on that third gear. Don't get me wrong, in the fourth round, when he got cut, if you're wondering, that cut wasn't from a punch. That cut was not from a punch. It was from a headbutt. It was a pretty bad cut. But thank God it wasn't over his eye. It wasn't, the blood wasn't getting in his goddamn eyes like Sebastian Fundora. It was under his eyes, so it didn't really affect him. That came from a cut. But Tszyu, in that round, decided to pick it up a gear and was bombing on Dennis Nurja. But throughout the rest of the fight, calmed it down a little bit, stayed composed, didn't come over eager, right? I seen a couple times where he was throwing some punches from the hip and it was ugly, where he could have got countered, but Dennis Nurja wasn't countering him. Dennis Nurja didn't possess the skills to be able to beat somebody like Tszyu. And don't get me wrong, you know, Tszyu got a great little jab. So at times, he's got a great pullback counter. At times. But I think you're going to look that good against somebody like Dennis Nurja, who isn't on the highest level. But once you fight somebody that actually got a jab, actually got some skills, it's going to be a completely different game, man. It's going to be a completely different game. Tszyu gets the victory. I barely watched the fight this morning. I wasn't able to watch it last night. So busy. We're currently moving. Thank God. More than likely, you're going to be able to start doing some live streams coming up in the future. Once again, finally, you see me always recording videos outside the pad. I live with a couple people, my grandparents and a couple people, and it's pretty bad, man. But we're almost there. I'm about a week away from moving out. Thank God. And, yeah, man. Tszyu gets the win against Dennis Nurja. Dennis Nurja's a game opponent. I expected him to come in and give a little bit more to Tszyu, but he didn't. Tszyu didn't really step on that last gear, which we really wanted to see like he did in the 4th round. But he still walked away with the victory, man. At the end of the day, I got Earl Spence winning. But the thing about Earl Spence is we haven't seen him in 3 goddamn years. So what kind of Earl the True Spence Jr. is going to come into this fight? He's not the biggest junior middleweight. Tszyu, yes, he's been finished a couple times, but is more naturally the junior middleweight fighter in this fight. So I think that's the only thing that Tszyu has going for him in this fight is, yes, he is the more natural junior middleweight, and he just got a fight in while Earl Spence has been really inactive. But let me know what you guys think, man. This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel bringing it to you. Earl the True Spence Jr. going to Twitter and telling him he's going to do this, man. I think he is, bro. I really do think he is. But let me know what you guys think, man. I'm out.